What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Devy Delight post-draft rookie. This is rookie draft. We are hosting. This is the third post-rookie mock draft that we're hosting. I can't talk. Can I ever talk on these? I don't think I've ever done an opening of these that I haven't fumbled my words. But
I think the only one you've done well was the one that wasn't planned.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's that. We are hosting another mock tonight via Sleeper. I'm very excited about it. How's is you, Stoops? God, I can't talk.
I'm fantastic.
I'm done.
Yeah, work was work. It's a Monday. I opened, so pretty slow throughout the day. Just kind of walked around and cleaned and looked busy, how that works. Other than that, just been as I don't know if it's spoiled, but I've been working on some graphic stuff, so some stuff will be coming out on your end. I'm starting to work on some stuff for myself as well, so I'm excited. At first I'm just toying with it, right? I'm just kind of adding some cubes and some blocks and some circles and fading this, fading that, whatever, and found out what I liked and kind of went with it. So excited about all that stuff. I've always been a fan of the graphics side of things. I'm going on a tangent, right? When I went into college, I was a graphics design major and then realized you had to take actual art classes like painting and drawing. And I can't do that. Give me a computer and a program. I can make it work, right? But I can't paint. I can't draw. I'm not artistic like that. So anyway, went a different route, yada, yada, yada. But now excited about the program and excited for stuff that's going to be coming out fantasy football related. So I'm excited about that. The cropping aspect of it, but excited to see how some of these guys go. I'm sitting at 101. I've never had 101. I might go chalk. I might not. I don't know.
I don't blame you.
I don't know.
I'm pretty stoked about it as well myself. These are fun. You know what I mean? I enjoy them. I've been kind of toying around with some of the stuff, and I haven't picked where I'm picking yet. I've been trying to go to a different slot every single time, right?
Yeah.
So that I can, have a little more fun. Try to see where I'm landing. We just joined another draft together today.
I know.
I'm interested to see kind of what goes on there. Oh yeah. J Mike's in the mock. I'm pretty excited about that. I like J Mike. So,
me too. He's picking behind me though. So
I'm gonna go ahead and go right there. I'm gonna go. Evan HP's in the house, baby. He's going 104. So far, we've got 6 people locked into the draft. I'm pretty excited about that. We are going to start here in about 5 or 6 minutes. We actually are going to, this week, we're going to transition into the SEC this week.
AKA the best conference ever, if Matt is around.
But I'm very excited to do that. Stoops is putting up a poll here in a little bit for you guys to pick the guy that I'm going to talk about this week. We're going to have Costello, we're going to have Newman, and we're going to have Trask as the option, right? What's the options?
I think so. That's the options now.
Yeah.
It wasn't before.
Oh, wasn't it?
It is. I think it is.
Trask,
Newman, and Costello.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Okay. All right. So yes, they will be the poll will be up at some point later tonight. You have about 24 hours, whatever, to vote for it so that I could have a little time to talk about the guys. But obviously we're talking about the quarterback position, so you know that I'm extra excited about it.
Cool. Real quick on another note. Have you had this yet?
No.
It's pretty good.
Dr.
All right,
Pepper
keep going.
cream soda?
Keep going.
That was not an ad. Not an ad. But if Dr. Pepper posts these live rookie mocks at Ricky Valero on
publicity,
at 1990, please.
If anybody from Dr. Pepper is watching,
exactly. So let's see here. Where are we at? We are 5-6 people deep. Everybody's in the front half of the draft. We've got 1 through 5 picked. Oh, Denny Butler's going to have
he's going to get sniped a lot.
He's going to get sniped every single round. We're doing 4 rounds again, guys. This is what we've been doing. 4 rounds. What we do is
I should have said it. Man, I should have waited. Now Matt's in. Dang. I don't know if he's watching per se, but
But I'm excited because we are going to take the numbers that we're getting from these, and we're going to put out a little bit of a like an ADP for some of these rookies in these rookie drafts. We've been doing the 4 rounds. As we go, you will see us dissect pick by pick by pick. And then at the end of it, we are going to give who we thought had the best draft, which 95% of the time is more than likely me. But it doesn't really matter. I let the other guys have a chance at having a good draft. Stoops is all right at this. So.
Yep. Hey, we got another one. Hey, I like these guys.
I know, right?
These are good guys.
1 through 7. We got 1 through 7 locked and loaded. Now we've got 8 spots filled.
Danny Butler's still going to get sniped.
Get in on this, right? You know what I mean? This is fun. We have 4 minutes remaining until we start the draft. We've got 4 slots left for the mock. I'm super excited. We got 8 again. I think we had 9 last time. So, 9. Shane. I like Shane. So this is exciting. This is awesome. Pretty excited about this.
Danny's still gonna get sniped by the computer.
Right? Poor Danny. He's got 1 more spot. You know what I mean? He might want to move up. You know what I mean? Or maybe
how much chaos would it cause if I just go 112? Just jump there now.
Randomly out of no, you see how
people will
fast,
be like, "Oh God!"
See how fast somebody moves up to 101? That would be hilarious. How do I find this? How do I share this link here? I don't ever remember how to share the link to where we're going live at. Actually, you know what I need to do? I need to put some headphones in.
Yeah.
I can hear you a little bit better that way too. But we're going to get started in about 3 minutes. Stoops, you know who you're talking about this week on the show?
What? No.
Who are you talking about?
Not Kellen Mond.
That's for sure. I'm glad you did. I thought you were like I'm glad you have.
You know what? You know what though? It as crazy as it sounds,
you should talk about him.
No, maybe it's not a bad idea that I talk about him, and I mean that in a serious way, right? Because I'm not a big fan of him, and I'm not saying that maybe I talk about him to downplay his abilities, because he is talented. He is talented, right? He can run the ball. He makes some great throws. It's just, what does he do in my eyes 75-80% of the time, right? So maybe I do dig deeper into it, watch more. I mean, I've watched every game, so how much more film can you watch on him? But
yeah,
maybe I do talk about him. I don't know.
And maybe you could talk about what you don't see versus some of the other guys, because obviously everybody else has been, as we've seen on Twitter, it's been a very much a Kellen Mond show. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of praise of him. Obviously, there's a lot of haters out there outside of you. And it's not just haters. The thing about it is what I love, I do this to you consistently, right? I always send you the stuff where like Kellen Mond's being praised.
Yeah.
And I love doing it because I know for a fact that I don't think there's very many people other than outside of like other Texas A&M fans that have watched as much Kellen Mond as you have, right? So for me, it's fun. So we've got 10 slots filled now, 10 of 12. I'm excited. The only two picks we have remaining, guys, are 109 and 111. So
right around Danny Butler.
Yeah, I know. Poor Danny. Ruggs joined the draft. Our Ruggs guy joined the draft, right?
Yeah.
And then,
there we go. Jay Snake.
Hey, Jay Snake in the house. Look at this. We might get a filler, man. Holy
I like
cow.
it.
Uno más. 111 left. We got 1 minute left. I might wait just a few shares, just to see if we get anybody else to join our last slot. I'm very excited, Steve. So we got a full mock, man.
I know.
This is awesome. Right?
I like it.
Man, these sunglasses make my watch look a lot cooler. Like I was looking at the time, it was like, you know.
I think it's the glasses plus your not so great vision that's just.
My vision is awful. Oh, man. Let's see here. We got just a few more seconds and then we'll start this bad boy. So 101 can be locked in. Hey, Jay Snake's in the house.
Yes.
Yes. Superflex in the house for 4 rounds of goodness. All right, folks, we have 11 of the 12 slots filled. I'm very, 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 very excited about that. So, Stoops, let's go ahead and make this thing go live. Right. Where's the button at again? I always forget. It's up here.
Top right.
There it is.
Yeah.
There we go. Confirmed. We're locked in.
All right. So here's the thing. It's a no-brainer, right? I feel like it's pretty chalk. But the crazy thing is this. Even in super flex leagues, not any I've been in, unfortunately, I have seen Joe Burrow not go number one, right? And that's why this here, I have no team to base things off of. If I had a team to base it off of, if I had a team with, Deshaun Watson, a Russell Wilson, and I don't know, pick a guy at third. Or let's just say it's Mitchell Trubisky. I know, love him, hate him, doesn't matter. First name that came to mind. I personally may say, you know what, I'm at 101. I don't need a quarterback. I'm going to go Clyde. I'm going to go Jonathan. I'm going to go J.K. Dobbins, whatever. Might go a different route. Not having a team, I feel like it's a no-brainer. It's got to be Joe Burrow. But to me, it's kind of a team-dependent type thing. And then also maybe you don't need that quarterback, but you know that 104 does, right? Hey, 104, right, this is up. What do you want? Yada, yada, yada. Trade it. Move down. Still potentially get a J.K. Dobbins. Or if you can make it work, get the 104 plus a second plus something else. Trade down again, right? Yep. Anyway, enough saying about that. We got Joe Burrow. Wait, we got Joe Burrow. There we go.
There we go.
You got to click the button. You got to click the button.
So for me personally, okay, so when it comes to the Joe Burrow thing, I think that he is set up for the most success in that super flex spot, right? I mean, he's got all the tools around him. Let's just say they have another rough season where they go maybe, 5-11, 6-10. They could get another, stud talent around him to go. And J-Mike kicks us off with the Tua pick at 102. This is not much of a surprise to me personally, especially in the super flex. The thing about it, the crazy thing about Tua right now is I didn't realize this. He's got the number one selling jersey right now in the NFL. And it's like number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then out of the top 10, I think he had 4 slots. Tom Brady had 4 slots. And then like Gronk and somebody else was in the top 10. Herbert actually was number 12, which was not much of a surprise. So, all right. So for me, obviously with Tua gone, I wouldn't take Tua anyway because I do. J-Mike with the comment. Feels good to have already won this draft. I like it. I like it a lot. J-Mike is a really cool dude. For me, this is simple. For me personally, I think there's only one decision to make here. If you're not a Tua guy and you're, Burrow's gone, Tua's gone at this 103, I have a feeling that there's no other guy that I would draft. I want to end up with this guy somewhere in one of my leagues. And I personally feel like he's the best running back in this class with his landing spot. And that's going to be Mr. J.K. Dobbins. This is a no-brainer for me personally.
I love J.K. Dobbins. I have 0 shares of J.K. Dobbins, but I love J.K. Dobbins. The one place I would have, so I traded up in a league to the 104 spot, right? J.K. Dobbins was still available, but my quarterback situation was in dire need of help. So I had to go quarterback at 104. That was my one opportunity to get Dobbins, and I didn't for other reasons. But I love J.K. Dobbins. Absolutely love it. I think him and Ingram are going to share that backfield this year. I don't think it's going to be so much a 50-50. It very well could be. But I think come next year, it's J.K. Dobbins' backfield, and that's no disrespect to Mark Ingram at all. But he's getting up there in age. It's just one of those where, and he's still performing. That's the thing; he is still performing. But I think it's J.K. Dobbins' backfield next year for sure. 100% his backfield.
Yeah, we talked about it on the show whenever we talked about some of my favorite guys, and I talked about why he's my number one. And for me personally, he's my number one. Even in the backfield, what was it? Gus Edwards last year, I think it was a backup. He had 800 yards. He had almost 1,000 yards total. As the third running back option, because you got Ingram or you got Lamar, Ingram, then whomever. So even if he cuts into that share a little bit more, makes it a 60-40, he could have 1,000 yards this year, and so could Ingram. So I like the idea. I love J-Mike being in this just because we might have to have J-Mike come in the show with us next week and talk with us. J-Mike, if you're watching, you're going to have to make that happen, man. We're going to need you to join us next week. Stereotypical so far, right? After Dobbins went, Taylor went, Edwards went. Swift goes. Lamb's the first receiver off the board. I am growing more and more fond of Lamb's landing spot as every day goes. I really should be. I was not very. Cam Akers at 108. Whew.
I thought it's Clyde falling to 105, and I say falling, right? Everywhere we've been seeing, it's kind of he's been going 102, 3, 104 at the latest type of thing, you know. So to see him at 105, that's in most recent things a slip,
For sure.
you know.
Yeah, for me personally, like I prefer Dobbins over Hilaire. I like the landing spot more, less options. They're going to run the ball, 30, 40 times a game. You know what I'm saying? That's just what they do. So Dobbins is going to get his opportunity to shine, and he's going to get it to shine as soon as next year.
Oh, man. Wanted Rager. I wanted him.
Oh, yes.
All right.
By Ruggs.
So that being said, I'm looking at it here. Usually Ruggs has been the one going, right?
Yeah.
But I will say I don't think in the most recent ones we've seen usually 3 quarterbacks go in that first round. That's kind of how we've seen it. But I also have seen, I think Herbert has been falling into that second round for us in our mocks, which has then pushed Ruggs into the first potentially. So I'm going to steer clear of that one. Love Mims, love Pittman, love Higgins. And you know what? I love Vaughn. I do. But I think Joe Burrow and T. Higgins are the future of Cincinnati.
Oh my God. They are, aren't they? That's going to be a match made in heaven.
So therefore, I'm creating that stack in my theoretical team that is not going to happen at all.
The theoretical team that you wish you were drafting right
exactly.
now.
I do. So here's the thing. I'm very interested to see what Vegas does with their team, right? They drafted all these receivers. Don't forget. Yep,
Just
exactly.
Red zone touch. TCL 14 here in the chat just announced some great stuff. I'll hit after it after you pick. Stoops, keep going.
I picked.
Oh, you
T.
did?
Higgins.
Okay.
I do believe in T. Higgins. I'm not doing it specifically because of the stack, honestly. I just think with what's on the board, I think Michael Pittman is a phenomenal athlete, and I think him in Indianapolis is going to be an awesome fit. But if this were my actual team, right, I love that quarterback wide receiver stack. So that's a reason I went Higgins, but I think Higgins is a phenomenal talent. I do think, and this is crazy to say, and I've said it before, I think he was overshadowed by Justin Ross because Justin Ross is another phenomenal talent, right? Yeah. But it was just, for some reason, everyone just didn't talk about Higgins. It was Justin Ross. So
I agree.
I think Higgins is going to translate very, very well, and Burrow's going to want to feed him the ball a lot. So here we go.
So much to talk about here on Dobbins. TCL 14 put in there. Don't forget about Gus, top 20 red zone totes last year. Wheels up on Dob Goblin. I like that nickname, Dob Goblin. I like that. Okay, so I am very, very excited right now. You know why?
Yep.
Okay, so I was very concerned that J Mike give me old sticky paws.
It's true.
So
it's true.
Denzel Mims. Okay, so me personally, I love the Mims landing spot. I think it's fantastic. The way the receivers went, Lamb, Jefferson. I wouldn't have drafted Jefferson as early. I'm not as high on Jefferson, but that doesn't mean I don't like him. I just think that I like the Higgins, Mims, and Rager. To be honest with you, here I was really hoping to get Rager, Higgins, or Mims. Obviously, none of them fell. So my option B is obviously the one guy that I've talked about just about as much as anybody else, and that's the great landing spot of Keyshawn Vaughn. Me personally, if I landed with Dobbins and Vaughn in a rookie draft, I would be the happiest man in the world because, in my opinion, I'm getting 2 running back ones, and I love this draft so far for me. I love the Dobbins Vaughn combination. I'm wheels on the bus, go round and round right now. I'm excited.
I like that. Did you just think that off the top of your head?
What?
Wheels on the bus go round? Did you just like?
Yes, it just came. It really did.
That's the best thing you've done all night. Now Ruggs though going at 204. That's the latest we've seen him go.
So I was looking at the draft last week. Herbert went 201. Ruggs went actually funny. Ruggs went at the same exact spot last time.
Oh, did he?
204. Yep.
Oh, well, then I sit corrected
last time. So Vaughn went 112 last time. So it's interesting to see. Michael Pittman, man, that's a great pick. I love the landing spot. Oh man, I love the Michael Pittman. There's a lot of guys that I like in that receiver class that I wouldn't be mad about landing in the second round. Anywhere from any of the receivers outside of Ruggs, I would be very, very pleased with in that second round. I'm really digging what Justin Geddes has done so far. Edwards-Helaire and Pittman combo. It's a pretty sexy 1-2 combination. You got a wide receiver 1, and then you got yourself a running back 1 in back-to-back rounds. You cannot complain, especially being at 205 right there.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm excited to see what the Colts do in the future. I think even this year, right? I mean, they've got a phenomenal offensive line. So I definitely think Jonathan Taylor is going to just have a phenomenal season. I think I personally think come week between 4 to 6, I think Jonathan Taylor takes over that backfield. And that's me even saying that owning a couple Marlon Mack shares. So I definitely need Marlon Mack to score some points, but I just think the talent of Jonathan Taylor in all aspects of the game, he can catch the ball, right? And he's fast. He's bigger, but he's fast.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be his backfield. But as a whole, I've talked up Jacob Eason, right? So I think Jacob Eason's going to eventually take over the quarterback role. Obviously not this season, and that's fine. Having Michael Pittman there.
Talk about a steal of a draft, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then having obviously Taylor back there, and if they keep on Mac, right? You know, we've talked about his contract situation. It's a pretty easy out. I think actually is he a free agent after this season or
this year, yeah.
So
paid a lot of money either. So
it's just one of those where they've got the talent there, and they could bring him back, and he may or may not want more money. I don't know. He may. I just don't know him on the personal level, right? Some guys will take less money to stay on a team they really enjoy. That could be him. That could not be him. We'll see. But no, I think the Colts have definitely got some talented weapons and that offensive line. Just defense. You know, we don't talk much on it, but I think improving your defense in any way is going to definitely help. And I think they improved the offense massively. So now definitely go into a free agent, go into a draft and improve defense and build up some guys. They've obviously got Darius Leonard. I think at a linebacker. That dude's a stud.
Massive. And then, of course, they traded Buckner. They traded for Buckner.
Yeah. So
from San Francisco, that was a massive move. They gave up the first round pick for him, right? And last year was a step back for them only because, obviously they were expecting Luck. If Luck plays last year, that team's a playoff team, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just plain and simple. So, and I think the funny thing about it is I think that we could potentially see Eason depending on how the season goes for the Colts. But I really think that this Colts team is loaded. I really think they're just going to run away with that division rather easily, in my opinion. And did you see that Rivers has a job in waiting down there? He's got like a high school head coaching job in waiting right now.
Really?
He was announced the head coach in waiting at some high school football team. So people, Jacob Eason at 207.
I like it. Wow. Finally.
Yeah, exactly. So I asked Jay Mike the question, who did he like outside of his so far? And he loves Jefferson at 10. However, the CEH Pittman combo feels like theft. That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, except whenever Burrow's out here throwing touchdowns to Higgins. Come on now.
Yeah, for real. It's LaVisca should. So we had to run real quick. Ruggs, Pittman, Ayuk falls to Spaceman, and then we had Jacob Eason, which is a surprise at 207.
Mm-hmm.
Very big surprise. That's the highest I've ever seen him go there. I think
that was my late round quarterback.
It was.
He gone.
So Matt, stop pushing that ADP up, please. You know what I mean? Yeah. Other leagues to draft in, but LaVisca slides in at 208. If he stays healthy, LaVisca's going to be a steal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that he could potentially have. I mean, he probably will have Trevor Lawrence, thrown to him next year, right? So you got Zach Moss dropping at 209, AJ Dillon at 210, Brian Edwards, who is my favorite late round receiver, who's crawling up boards, and I'm very mad about it, at 211, and Anthony McFarland at 212, which I think is another good under radar pick. And Stoops, you are on the clock, sir. Sorry, that was a lot to talk about.
It's fine. I still got 2.5 minutes. No worries. So and I liked this landing spot within reason, right? So Antonio Gibson, Washington does have a lot of running backs, right? If Geis is healthy, I think the backfield is his. I think that Washington is still believing in him enough to keep the spot there for him. Obviously, they got some aging running backs there that are just kind of filling the roster at this point because of injuries in the past. But the fact that Antonio Gibson can be used everywhere, right? Throw him into the passing game, give him the ball to run. He can get it. He can make it happen. He can get it there. So I like him here, and I'm just kind of looking elsewhere. KJ Hamler, I just don't see him having he's going to have a role in Denver. I just don't see him making that much of an impact. I think Chase Claypool is going to be a phenomenal talent in Pittsburgh, but having a receiver already with T. Higgins, obviously you can never have too many receivers if you look at some of my rosters. But I'm just kind of looking around. De'Arrington Evans, I love him in Tennessee. I think he's going to be the next guy up. Obviously, they did not sign what's his face long term, right? So Henry, so he could be out and Evans could be in. So it'll be interesting to see there. So I'm actually going to go Antonio Gibson here. I like, and again, it could be coach speak, right? How Rivera was talking about how he sees like a CMC type role type thing. When that's said, I mean, that's just, I mean, you got to love that. But again,
Yeah, you can't
speak,
be mad about that.
yeah, coach speak is what it is, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm going to go here. Maybe it's a reach, maybe it's not, but I know he wouldn't be that. Well, he might be, but I highly doubt he'd be there at 4-1, 401. So
he'd probably be there 311. Then he would be sniped.
Yeah.
As Ruggs said that he got sniped by 211. He said he wanted Brian Edwards, which, to be honest with you, Judy Brian Edwards combo 1-2 combo is a really nice combo for the computer.
Yeah.
But actually Rager, and if he would have got Rager and Edwards, I probably would have just awarded him the draft already, because that's a nice little 1-2 punch. I love Rager. Oh my God, I love. You're the one that, and the funny thing about it is, I will always say that you were the guy that put me on Rager. And the thing about it is that everybody wants to criticize what he did or what he didn't do. And the thing about it is when we dive so deep into these things, it's like, what is the quarterback situation? Like, it's like taking, like Donovan Peoples-Jones. It's like, oh God, no. Oh my God, that's J. Mike. No more disrespect for my guy here, Ricky. Lynn Bowden Jr. is off the board.
Oh God,
J. Mike, you could have got him as a free agent after this auction was over for a penny. I mean, he just threw my whole entire conversation for a loop.
That's okay. That's the fun part about being live. And if anybody's ever watched and listened and whatever to the open bar, that's just how it goes. He's bringing the open bar into this. He's just throwing you off, right? You're on your spiel, you're making your points, and then just boom, change it up.
So for me, I was watching, and to be honest with you, I was kind of surprised with the Gibson pick, but I know you've been higher on Gibson. You've actually grown a lot on Gibson in the last couple of weeks and talking about him. For me, this is easy for me. To be honest with you, this was a very easy thought process for me. I don't like Hamler. Didn't like him coming out of college. Don't like him in the Denver lineup at all. You have Sutton, you have Judy, you have Fant, you have Melvin Ingram, you have Philip Lindsay, you have the guy on the sideline just sitting there. All these guys have more opportunities of catching balls than Ken J. Hamler does from Drew Lock next year. So I really don't think that's a good landing spot for him. But I will say this, my guy right here, Chase Claypool, I love this landing spot. They're going to throw. Look, I said this on the podcast. They've thrown the ball almost 500 times every year Roethlisberger's been in the league for like the last 5 years. Last year was an anomaly. Roethlisberger wasn't healthy. So they just literally just try to pound the rock. They're going to get back to what fed them. They're going to hand off the ball, but at the same time, they're going to get the ball in the position. Chase Claypool is automatically, in my opinion, the second receiver on this roster, right? Washington's been a bit of a bust. And the thing about it is, Juju Smith-Schuster is good and all, but he's not a number one receiver, in my opinion. I think he might be a wide receiver one in fantasy terms, but in real life, I think that he's a better complement to another receiver. Whether it's Claypool at the tight end position, wide receiver position, wherever you want to line this guy up, he's fast and he's got great hands, and I'm going to slide him right here. I like this pick.
I like it.
For your Ayuk pick, I knew you weren't thrilled about him, so curious how he ended up on your team. Yeah, that's it. I would agree. I can't wait to see what he says. I would have taken Edwards at 206. So maybe that's what happened. He got auto picked there at Ayuk, because I don't like the landing spot for Ayuk fantasy purposes, right? I think that.
So let me. Is it because? Like, how come? Did they just not? They don't throw the ball enough for you? Like, what's your reasoning?
I think that's the biggest reason. I think that there's going to be not enough weeks for me that he's going to be consistent enough that I'm going to be able to start him. I think he's going to be one of those guys where you start him 1 week and he gets you 3 points, and then the next week when you bench him, he gets the 25. So then you just throw him back in there type thing. That's the kind of thing that I think that you're going to expect to see at Ayuk.
Okay, I think he's going to come in and be. I'm not saying he's going to come in and be like the guy, right? I don't think that's going to happen. But I just think that they're going to throw the ball enough. It's just going to come down to the efficiency of it, right? Is he efficient with his touches? That's going to be what it comes down to, I think. And then how do they use him in the red zone? Do they use him in the red zone? Like, how's that going to work? So I'm not totally out on it. Would I have taken him at 206? No, probably not. And he even said, right, he would have taken Edwards, but I guess his app crashed, froze, whatever the case may be. So
yeah.
It happens. Luckily, it's a mock, right? You know what I mean? I think Ayuk still would have gone a couple picks later. So
For
I
sure.
don't think the ADP is going to be totally thrown off. But yeah,
I mean, I would have. I think
Love
I would
hurts.
have. Okay, so I was a very big fan of Justin Geddes' draft until he drafted Jordan Love. But I will say this. Okay, let me explain this for 1 second. This is not an endorsement of Jordan Love, but if you can get Jordan Love in the 3rd round of your rookie mock, I really feel like you're stealing a quarterback because he's going to start, right?
Yeah.
You're getting a starting quarterback in round 3. Whether he's good or not, that's neither here or there. But maybe you hang on to Jordan Love for a year or two, and when he's finally announced as a starter, you could trade him away for something better,
Exactly.
like a trash can. But the thing about it is like, I think we're good here. So we got Jalen Hurts off the board at 306. Interesting pick for Jalen Hurts at 306. But I think at the same time, this 3rd round pick is where you start taking chances, where you're not sure the guy's going to start, so you're okay taking the chances. DJ Dallas comes off at 307. I like DJ Dallas. I'm just questionable about that backfield. There's a lot of guys in that backfield, but at the same time, they like the weird off-the-wall, undrafted, low-round guys, and they get him the ball somehow. Joshua Kelly goes off at 308. I love Joshua Kelly. I think that he's going to slide into that number 2 role right behind, which kind of sucks because I was really hoping Justin Jackson was going to be that guy. Maybe Jackson's that guy this year and Kelly takes over. Michael P. Ryan at 309. Van Jefferson at 310. I know you like Van Jefferson. The more we've talked about it, the more I like him. KJ Hamler at 311. I like that as well. You might have to wait for Love to pay off, but in the 3rd, oh man, that's great. And I agree with J Mike there. Go ahead, Stoops, you're on the clock.
You already know who I'm taking. Look at the board.
Oh yeah, it's AGG.
Look at the board. To me, until people see, I mean, people have seen his footage, right? They've seen the Senior Bowl tape. They've seen it all. They've seen us talk about him amongst others. This dude is now. I will say this. Side note: if this was a tight end premium, I think tight ends obviously would have been pushed up already, right? But if Troutman would have been here at this spot, I don't think he would have. But if it was tight end premium, I'd go that route instead. It's not, but yeah, for me, it's going to be AGG. I should say we, not just me. We are such big believers in AGG. Meeting him, seeing him in person down at the Senior Bowl. It answered a lot of it answered the few questions, I should say, that we did have about him, right? So you saw him against the top talents. He performed there. Yes, he had, and I still see it like it was yesterday, right? That deep ball left side of the field where, I mean, he had it and he just dropped it, right? So he had some flaws, you know what I mean? But I would say 99% of the passes that were thrown his way caught him, right? If they were within catching radius.
Yep.
He did have some overthrows that nobody would have caught that. So
Jordan Love.
Yeah. So overall, though, I mean, if I could get AGG here at 401, I'd be thrilled every day. Every day. That's where I'm going.
The funny thing about it is, I was waiting until you did it, but you went 2 Bengals, 2 Redskins. I like it. I like the.
Didn't even notice. Didn't even notice. I love the memes. Yep.
Oh man, sniped. J Mike said he got sniped. He sniped J Mike for the AGG pick.
Let's go.
See, that's what I like. That's what I like about whenever we do these. That's what I love about doing these is whenever we do them, getting sniped by an actual person makes it a lot funner, right?
Yeah. The computer, like, I got sniped. That's
J Mike.
Oh.
Talking about getting sniped.
Whammy.
I
like Tyler Johnson there.
Tyler Johnson. Who were we just talking about on the show? Receiver. Come on, we just talked about him on the show. Stoops, give me.
We talked about 3 different guys.
The guy from Minnesota, though, Tyler
Rashad Bateman.
Yes. So, I forget what is his size. Can I look at him? I thought we could show the play card. Yes. As you can see,
just click enough time. Just keep clicking. It'll eventually pull up.
Yeah, I'll just end up the thing. 6'2", I love the Johnson pick. I love it. I'm so mad right now because this is where I was hoping to go and get Johnson. Now I'm gonna have to reevaluate my whole entire team. Okay, so I like what I've done so far. Dobbins, Vaughn, Claypool. Right. So we're gonna look at the guys here. There's really nothing that I love here. Quarterback wise, I don't even know. Like maybe I can go get Jake from State Farm, but that's not really going to happen. Let's see here. I know where I'm going to go. I got to find his name. Where's his name at?
Last name Davis. First name Courtney.
Yeah. No, I just realized he was taken too. I didn't even pay attention to the last round of the draft. Yeah, I know. It's awful. I'm going to take the guy that Stoops has been very high on, talking him up a lot over the last couple of weeks, and that is going to be Mr. Eno Bencher.
I like it.
I'm really just was flustered over the entire Johnson being taken over me.
I like Eno, and I will say this on Madden: if you update the classes, he's there, but he's going to want a lot of money apparently. I don't know why he has 0 touches, but he wants money.
So the question for you: how do you get the rookies and stuff?
So they there's people out there who create the classes. They just create the player. They just create the players, and then they somehow, I don't know how they do it. I can't do it. But yeah,
do they fix the rosters? So like, is Brady a Patriot or a Blockin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So like, and I did a franchise with Arizona, and Hopkins is on there. Isaiah Simmons is on there. Like it has. I need that. They cut Fitzgerald. What? The Cardinals cut Fitzgerald. I'm like, come on, guys. I mean, granted, I simulated through the preseason, so I kind of let the computer do it.
You turn off injuries? I turn off injuries.
Heck yeah. They go catch a ball, fall down, and they broke their arm. This is anyway. Yeah,
bring NCAA back is what we're trying to say, guys.
Oh god, I talked about that at lunch today with one of the guys, and it's as soon as we thought we had a good idea, it was like, well, but then there's this aspect that comes about from it. So there's always just something, right?
Yeah,
it's because
just make one of like the SEC. I don't really care. Like I make it just a couple conference SEC, Pac-12, Big Ten. Get a couple of them and thrown in there.
Well, the thing is this, like, so the players were the issue as far as the compensation for the players or lack thereof, none really.
Right.
At this point, I don't care if they just get with the schools, create the licensing agreement with them and say, we'll pay the school X amount of money, whatever for their images, right? The logos, the stadiums, the whatever, and create every single player randomly. I don't need to play with Trevor Lawrence. I don't care because the recruiting aspect is what I loved about the game.
They have fake names before.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Get with the programs, pay the schools, which again, the players are going to be like, well, I'm still here. It's yada, yada, yada. Well, okay, but there's no likeness of you in the game. Anyway, make the damn game. We got on a huge rant / tangent randomly, whatever.
I need you to
because
show
of
me
Benjamin.
I need you to send me exactly. I need you to send me a thing how to do that on Madden because I really literally wanted to start a dynasty with the Cardinals for that reason. So J Mike put in there moving forward, really hoping Quintez is someone I can get with an early fourth. Seems like all of the third and fourth tier running backs are now going in the third rounds. Going to have to adjust for that. It's Quintez. We talked about it. I talked about it smallly on the show. And I said that the last mock we did, that he's the only receiver on the payroll next year for the Lions. Obviously, with Galladay will get paid or franchise tagged, one or the other.
Yeah.
But
it just seems like it seems like running backs, they always gain value as like seasons get closer and as like certain events get closer. Like running backs have always had value, right? But it just seems like they start to, and honestly, there we go, Adam Troutman. It's almost like the more mocks or the more drafts that people participate in, they start seeing where running backs are going. So it's like, well, I got him at 401 in this league, but I got to take him at 309. So now someone sees that. So then it's 304. You know what I mean? Like they start trickling their way up because they see where people have gone in other drafts. So they're just like, well, I got to take him here. I don't think I'm going to get him late again. So I think that's a big piece as to why stuff like that happens.
So I'm really
Isaiah Hodgins. Got to stay on brand.
I know that's it. That's exactly what he said. So to be honest with you, Justin Geddes is going to win this draft for me, hands down.
Oh, there we go. Clyde, Pittman, Love, Truck. Yeah, I mean, he technically filled all the positions you need.
Yeah, he checked all the boxes. I really like J Mike's outside of the Bowden pick, so he gets a huge knock for the Bowden pick. I don't think Bowden's worth fantasy value. Perfect.
I actually like Matt's team. I like Lamb, Eason, Dallas, and Hodgins. I actually like that. I like that. Too.
It'd be interesting to see if we see Eason's ADP go up because of the landing spot. I think that was always going to be a landing. I think Cole Kmet pick in the 4th round is a phenomenal pick. I really do. I don't think that he's going to do anything this year, and we understand that. But for me personally, I like the pick a whole lot. This 4th round is filled with question marks and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I mean, Chicago only has about 13 tight ends on their roster. Who's it gonna be?
It's like pick a guy so that I can take a picture of this so I can keep track of it. You're done drafting. So for me, I personally, Justin Geddes has got the good team. I think he's my team of the week this week. Oh, let's see here. Evan HP's Ruggs pick irritates me. I really like my team, but that's just being biased. I really like your team. J Mike's team outside of Bonen's good. I think the 4 for 4 for me has got to be those guys. I think that's got to be mine.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
A 4th pick is what really got me, right? It's the Troutman that was the icing on the cake, right?
Yeah.
I think to me that was where the icing on the cake kind of exists.
I still like oh man. I like Matt's team. I like it a lot. Lamb. I'm just a big Eason guy. I get what you're saying about Seattle. It's kind of like they've got that running back carousel, right? Carson, he kind of took the workload, or a huge chunk of it. But
Mr. Relevant, Courtney Davis just for Stoops.
Yeah, let's do it. I personally think I would, and I think I would lean. I think I would lean Matt's team, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The Eason pick was shocking at where he took him, right? But again, in a super flex, you just don't know. That's the thing. This league that I'm in, the picture I sent you earlier.
Hey, James.
Nice. I kid you not. And the first 24 picks, I think it was like 10 or 11 quarterbacks went. Like,
wow.
I've never seen that many quarterbacks go so early. It's kind of one of those where you look at it like, do I give in and take my quarterback because I need to fill it, right? I don't want to just start with some second string guy that may or may not play, but it's kind of like there's the players that got pushed down. Like I got Hopkins at 211. Who gets Hopkins at 211? That's crazy.
Yeah, that was insane. When you sent me that team, I jokingly said to you, I said, you must be playing with a bunch of noobs or something like that.
Yeah.
I've been, I kind of enjoyed that. So I really enjoyed that draft. I thought it was a lot of fun. It went kind of smooth. Obviously, it is a lot more fun whenever you have
actual people.
Actually people. So 11 to 12 people being on board. That's why I said I was excited because I was like, we need to get on a few minutes early so we can tweet the link out and have everybody just join in. You know what I mean? Anybody that wants into it, to be in. That's what the goal is here. We're just trying to get these out, pump them out, and then do some ADP from them. So, thanks everybody for joining us this week. Stoops and I have a show popping right now on anywhere you listen to podcasts. We talk about Big 12 receivers. Really good episode. I thought that was a very fluent episode. We got back into the swing of things. We kind of went off brand for 2 weeks talking about the NFL draft. I was excited to talk about the guys next year. 2021's on the radar. We've got to be talking about these guys, and I'm really excited about doing the quarterbacks this week. So make sure to check out the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. It's available everywhere. It's available on YouTube as well. We do the show live Saturdays, 8 a.m. Central Time. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Time, or 9 a.m. Eastern Time. I do that all the time. Stoops and I go live. We'll be going live again this week, again, talking SEC quarterbacks. Make sure to give Stoops a follow at Stoops1990. Give myself a follow at Ricky_. And until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
See y'all later.